Thank you. Good night.
More comedy tomorrow night on BBC One with Joe Brand and Head On Comedy at 11:20. Still to come tonight, double drama in 5 minutes with Chicago Hope.
BBC Two, the home of groundbreaking television.
Why didn't you have a go at this?
Yes! It's James Brown from Cardiff.
You're getting me at it.
That was me thinking I was getting tired of the show and new levels of idiocy crop up.
No!
Enough to drive any adolescent girl wild with passion, I would have thought.
The Comedy Zone, Friday from 9 on BBC Two.
You know the score.
Good awareness. Keeper's going one with the ball, ends up the back of the net.
Oh, extravagant! You must know the score.
Oh, that is amazing! That is amazing!
It's getting close.
Oh, it's a great shot!
You do know the score.
Got a goal! That was sheer class!
Usual format.
Pick your best three.
Your first look at all the Premiership goals. Match of the day is back. You know the score. Saturday, 10:30, BBC One.
A Chicago Hope double bill coming up on BBC One after a late night look at the weather with David Braine.
Hello again and welcome to Weatherview. Yesterday I showed you where we had tropical storms around the world. Now those seem to have weakened and thankfully moved away from any populated areas. There still is one storm down to the southwest of California, but thankfully that is also moving away out into the Pacific. Elsewhere it's a little bit quieter. Caribbean seeing a few showers, but really some fine dry weather as well. But as I move into the central part of the Atlantic, there is still these dark areas of cloud that have been developing over the last few hours coming out of Africa. And one or two of those we'll have to watch as they move across the warmer waters because they could potentially develop into some more tropical storms. Thick cloud over the Sudan, and they've had some quite heavy rain here as well. Also over the Ethiopian highlands. Moving into the Indian Ocean, you can see that there's been some cloud brewing up across a large part of India. And here again we've seen some showery rain, the monsoon rains continuing. But perhaps the darkest and most ominous cloud is that we've got across the more southeastern parts of Asia, where it's been pretty wet. One of the wettest places was here in Malaysia. We've had 101 millimetres of rain falling in the space of 24 hours. And a little bit further north, here in Vietnam, we've had 247 millimetres in the space of a day, a huge downpour of rain. There's been some local flooding here, and we can see on the satellite sequence these dark areas of cloud floating around, drifting steadily westwards, and still with an area of low pressure not too far away from this region, there's the potential for more of those heavy bursts of rain. Incidentally, that typhoon I mentioned yesterday is moving away from Japan, and it's moving back out into the Pacific and weakening as it does so. Well, into southern parts of Asia, the south of India, seeing just a few showers. Come further north, though, and there's more persistent rain across the more northeastern parts of India. As we travel across into Afghanistan and Pakistan, it's a drier story. And it's a hot story for the Middle East. Kuwait's temperature up at 48 degrees Celsius. Imagine that kind of heat. Into the Mediterranean and Spain and Portugal, a lot of fine dry weather for tomorrow, but further north it's more unsettled. We've already had some quite wet weather in western Norway. Trondheim, 20 millimetres in the space of 6 hours, and with low pressure close by, more rain pushing across a large part of Scandinavia over the next few days. But for ourselves, we're looking much further down to the south for what's happening as we move towards the weekend. These clumps of cloud here, well, that's a little area of low pressure. It doesn't look very much initially, but then as it gets a little bit closer, especially through Thursday and into Friday, it develops into quite a nasty area of low pressure, not particularly windy, but some very heavy rain, and that heavy rain gradually pushing its way away into the North Sea through Saturday and into Sunday. So we are giving you an early warning of potentially very heavy rain through Friday night and into Saturday across a large part of England and Wales, heavy enough for some localised flooding. On to tomorrow's forecast, Thursday's forecast though, some sunshine inland, just a few showers around, those showers becoming more widespread through the afternoon, and a top temperature of 22 or 23 degrees Celsius. 23 Celsius is 73 degrees Fahrenheit. Friday's forecast is more of the same, but a little bit more cloud coming in from the south to give a wet day on Saturday. That's all from me. Enjoy the rest of the night. Bye for now.
Brian's had a dream,
Maybe it's not just your dream, Brian.
and it's about to affect his whole family.
I think it might be all of ours.
This is some sort of joke, right? to leave the urban sprawl
Absolutely balmy.
for a life of country bliss.
Have you or your husband any experience of running a small holding?
No,
You are from the countryside originally.
no.
We got it sorted, haven't we, eh?
Raise that eyebrow again. I shall rip it off and feed it to my dog.
One family with a serious dream
Gross.
for a simple life. Pauline Quirk and Warren Clark. Down to Earth. Starts Bank Holiday Monday at 9 on BBC One.
A double bill of Chicago Hope now on BBC One. Philip claims to have witnessed a murder in 50 minutes after a case of divine intervention.
Previously on Chicago Hope.